show keeps the drama in play. It's good. Let's go where the heroes rise and the legends grow. CJP brings the shots. You know the EVP show is out of control.
What is going on, everyone? It's the EVP from the EVP show. And I am back just another 2 hours later from the NFL Week 14 recap. So hope you guys enjoyed your Tuesday. Yeah, it's been a pretty good day. A little NBA action, a little NXT action. What more can you really ask for? So obviously, NXT is the more far superior show in my book right now. I feel like. So tonight we are going to be covering the NXT episode that just finished about 29 minutes ago. I started the stream a little early. Last night I did start the Raw recap a little late because of the football game. I do apologize about that. So I figured I would start this NXT stream a little bit early for you guys tonight. So obviously, you know, we're coming off of a huge PLE for NXT. Not only was all the matches great, but we are going to see we're going to see a good bit of NXT stars showcased for the upcoming WWE Saturday main event. Sorry, for John Cena. I mean, we're gonna have Sol Ruka. She's gonna be going up against Bayley. Obviously, Javon Evans and Leon Slater against AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, and then obviously Femi, which is the biggest one, is going to be going up against Cody Rhodes. So I love how they are showcasing the big account, for the, I love what they're doing with NXT. They're putting it on the map. You really can't go wrong with it right now, to be honest with you. I love how, they're doing everything they can to make sure that, NXT is getting the proper respect that it deserves. I mean, what's bigger than an Femi versus Cody Rhodes? I mean, that's been a lot of people's dream. One of the dream matches for Femi, obviously, was to go up against American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. We're gonna see that Saturday live on Saturday night's main event. I do expect it to be a great match, but obviously I'm not going to give my predictions right now. I'll save that for the prediction show tomorrow night with Miami, but I don't think that it's going to be a clean win for either one of them. I feel like there's going to be a lot of shenanigans involved. Yeah, but I'm happy to see NXT finally being able to be showcased in a big spotlight like that. Yeah, so it was a really good show tonight. I actually tuned in about 5 minutes late, so I had to rewind it. Yeah, so hope you guys, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed your Tuesday. Just waiting a few minutes to see if we can get some people in here, obviously, because trying to get some comments going in here. don't want everybody to miss out on this all this action tonight. So, all right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. I don't know what that is. My computer is like. Shout out to Wrestling RUS podcast for reposting the stream. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Hopefully some people can pile in, but tonight's NXT airing is from the Capitol Wrestling Center, which is in the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. So basically, this is the show right after NXT Deadline. NXT Deadline was Saturday, so this was kind of like the Fallout show. A lot's going on. A lot happened tonight. To progress storylines, we got an impromptu NXT Championship match to where, like, if Javon beats Oba, he goes on to face Cody, and he's already mixed up in a tag match at Saturday night's main event with Leon Slater going up against AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. So is he going to have to pull double duty? We will find out. I was like freaking out when I saw this match because I already had my thumbnail made. Miami made my thumbnail for tomorrow. And that's obviously got Oba and Cody on it. So, yeah. But yeah, so basically tonight we're going to see the Women's North American Champion, Blake Monroe. She was supposed to have an open challenge to win her title. It looks like that is going to happen next week on NXT. It looks like the party kind of got spoiled on that. But she is defending next week against Thea Hill on NXT. So that's going to be good. Kalani Jordan is going to go one-on-one. She went one-on-one tonight with the Juggernaut, Jordan Grace, which I kind of knew that was going to happen after the fallout from Deadline. It was just a lot of craziness going on with that. So let's get it started. So the show basically opens up with the video package. Obviously, Big Joseph, Booker T are your commentators for tonight. The show opens up with video package recapping this past Saturday night's WWE NXT Deadline. Commentary then welcomes everyone to the show. Oba Femi, and then we hear the ruler, the new NXT champion, Oba Femi. His music hits, and Oba makes his way down to the ring. Oba grabs a mic and starts off by saying, "Power, true power." Oba then says it doesn't bend, it doesn't break, it doesn't beg. Oba then says it's watching the world around it. Oba then says this is true, absolute power. Oba proclaims now that he is a two-time NXT champion. He then says the stars align for Ricky Saints at No Mercy. Oba then says NXT was not the same without him on top. Oba says the universe did what it did best. It found a way to correct itself. Oba says he rose from the ashes to reclaim his title. What is going on, Lady Alpha? Shout out to the Wrestling Divas podcast, Lady Alpha. I tuned in for a second to you guys' show. I was going to watch the entire show, but me and Miami were actually doing our NFL show at that time. So I was kind of watching a little bit on my phone. I did send a comment in there. But shout out to the Wrestling Divas podcast, Lady Alpha, and Autumn as well. Give them a follow on X and also give them a subscription on YouTube. Those ladies do a tremendous job. And it's good to see you guys in here. Appreciate you guys coming into the stream. Shout out to the Wrestling Divas podcast from Gimmick Table Media. They even call me EVP, which that's cool. Just I went a little unhinged. Oh, you went unhinged. I missed it. What happened? Um, I didn't get to see it. What if you can fill me in the comments? Obviously, I mean, oh, shout out, shout out, shout out. What's going on? At Horror Wrestling, Michael. It's good to see you as well. He is part of Kicking Out at 2 podcast with Tori, and he was also accompanied by the lovely Lady Alpha on my NXT deadline prediction. So it is good to see the both of you guys here. I missed you guys last night on the Raw recap. I was saying I went on like an hour late because of the stupid ass football game. The Eagles had me mad as hell. But yeah, I didn't start the stream till like midnight, which I'm not doing that again. I don't care what football game's on. But it's good to see you, Michael. As always, give Michael a follow at Horror Wrestling and also at Kicking at I think it's at Kicking Out at 2 podcast. Yeah. So yeah, Jalen Hurts cost me my spot in the fantasy football playoffs last night with that horrid game last night. But shout out to Michael. It was a soapbox segment. I was a little heated. Oh no. I mean, I'm gonna have to go back and watch the stream. I did comment in there. Not sure if you saw it, Lady Alpha. But I definitely did comment in there. And I gotta get you guys back on the show. Like I said, I'd love to have you and Michael. I told Michael I'd love to have him and Tori. I'd love to have Autumn as well. Be great to have like the tandems in the EVP show streams. I got a lot of stuff cooking. Obviously I'm making some shorts out now. I got me and Miami got a lot of stuff, and we're working on. I got a new intro video Miami's working on for the stream. I did, but I forgot to shout out. I'm sorry. It's okay. I mean, it was just one comment. I'll just, like I said, I was in the middle of a stream, or I would have been in there, like, with you guys, supporting. But I did definitely shout you guys out every one of my streams. I try. If I don't, like, I apologize. I do try to. I do shout out to Gimmick Table every stream. But yeah, like I would love to have you, Lady Alpha and Autumn maybe at one point for a PLE, or hell, I mean both you guys and Michael and Tori. That would be great. I like having tandems on. Tomorrow it's just gonna be me and Miami the Great. I tried to bring you guys in for the Saturday night main event prediction, but you guys are we're tied up. So yeah, it's gonna be me and Miami the Great tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern for the Saturday night main event prediction. But if anybody on you guys' team is free, feel free to DM me or put it in the comments, and I will definitely add you guys in, because we were looking for a third person, and we were unable to find an extra person. So if you guys are able to make it, either one of you at 7 p.m. tomorrow Eastern with me in Miami, that would be great. All right. So you're in. Lady Alpha is in for the Saturday night's main event prediction show. Perfect. Great. So I will send you the link tomorrow. It will be at 7 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. It will be me, you, and Miami, and anybody else that wants to join. I can have up to 10 people, I believe. Perfect. I'm glad to have you. Like I said, at one point I would love to have like just one show with like me and you and Autumn. Maybe like a prediction, or we could even do like a recap of the PLE And then I told Michael after the stream, prediction stream, I'd love to have him and Tori on as well. I just love to have tandems on. I've had Miami and Final Boss Lady on before my first ever stream, which was SummerSlam prediction. Yeah, absolutely. It's cool. Michael, I appreciate it. So let's see the comments. Hey, pretty lady. I did, but I forgot to shout out. I'm Scatterbrain. Yay. I'm super excited, Lady Alpha, you're joining. Like I said, if you guys know anybody else, just let me know, and I will get you guys added in tomorrow. It's the biggest event of the year. It's John Cena's last match. So I do have you, Lady Alpha, and Miami the Great as of now. So I will make that post out tonight. I will let Miami know as well that you will be joining us. So that'd be great. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Love that you're gonna be on. It's weird. I'm kind of off topic, but there's 4 matches announced. Are we gonna get another match? Because I feel like Autumn is hard to pin down. She's a nurse. I will ask her. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I would love to have, definitely at some point. She was supposed to come on when I was first gonna make my comeback. I had her penciled in. I had sent her a DM. And then I didn't come back. So, but yeah, I'd love to have Autumn on as well. And obviously Michael and Tori, anybody from Gimmick is always welcome on the EVP show. I love having you guys on. But are we going to get another match? Because, it's 4 matches right now. It's just, I guess we're going to be predicting the 4 we know. I thought they may add one, but with it being Cena's final match, it's on Peacock, but I don't know if they're going to go over 2.5 hours with the show, so they may just stick to the 4 matches. We're going to predict those. We're going to predict what we know, and that's really all we can do. I was hoping that maybe a 5th match would get added tonight. I was a little worried you guys coming in late because Miami had already made my thumb for tomorrow, and it's Cody and Oba. And I'm like, holy shit, like if Javon wins tonight, then fuck am I going to do about my thumb for tomorrow? Because it's like Cody and Oba is the thumb for the prediction show. So I would have to do, me and Miami would have to do like a quick like fix around and try to throw Javon in there. Yeah, I don't think they're going to add any more either. But appreciate you guys. Shout out to Gimmick Table Media. Yeah, it is. I figured they may do like one more, like to showcase a little bit more of NXT talent. I had mentioned, with you guys on the prediction show, I felt like it was going to be a lot of NXT versus main roster. But yeah, y'all see my queen behind me. She was looking oh so fine tonight, walking to the ring, shaking that little booty, little JC Jane accent. I love it. I love JC. Autumn is very elusive. So I do have a college degree, but I have no idea what elusive means. I would have to look that up, Michael. So you may want to have to put that in the comment. I don't know what elusive means, but yeah, I haven't really spoken to Autumn much since then. So, but I'd like to have her on, yeah, for sure. And definitely you and Tori. But so appreciate you guys. Shout out to the Wrestling Divas podcast at Horror Wrestling, one of the hosts of Kicking Out at 2. And all of us are combined with Gimmick Table Media. Obviously, shout out to After the Slam podcast, as well as they have joined he has joined our DWE family. And once you're a family, then that is it. You have our full support. I love After Slam. I actually be on his show Sunday for the John Cena memorial. Well, it's not a memorial. He's not dying, but You know what I mean? The John Cena show. Shout out to After Slam, newest member of DWE. DWE and Gimmick Table Media is the place to be. So maybe that can be a little catchphrase right there. I hope Miami's listening. DWE and Gimmick Table Media is the place to be. So there we go. Yeah, Cena apparently requested that exhibition show with NXT versus WWE because he feels like a lot of new eyes will be on the product and they get to see now in the future. Yes, that's absolutely correct. I also posted that as well. That's why I thought JC was, that's why they put the title. Oh, okay, you're gonna be there. You're gonna be there Sunday. Awesome. Yeah, so I'll see you there for sure. That's gonna be a lot of us. Me, you, Miami, Carlos. So it's gonna be a packed show. It's gonna be a bunch of heavy hitters in there. I expect a lot of eyes on that Sunday for sure. Can't wait for it. But so shout out to all of you guys. Thank you guys for coming in. We have 50 viewers. We are live on the EVP show, my ex and Miami the Great's ex as well. So let's get back to NXT. Oba told everyone that the title belongs to him. He says that he is done with Ricky Saints. It looks like he is. He says on Saturday he will stand across the ring from the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Oba says he will not see Oba says he will not see the future and potential. He says he will see the now and all of his glory. So it's a big match for me. I've been looking forward to Oba coming up. I don't want to spoil my predictions. I want to say that for me and Lady Alpha and Miami tomorrow. I don't think we get a clean winner. I do think we get a winner, but there's gonna be some shenanigans. I was really hoping for the Cody Ricky Saints. Just from the AEW history, they're really good friends outside of all of this, but Cody's got to put Oba over. Like, he can't come onto the show and lose clean to Cody. Like, I don't know, though. Cody's pretty protected, so we'll see. I think we're going to see that Scottish psychopath, though, honestly. So, Oba and Cody Saturday. So then we get the absolute Ricky Saints. He interrupts. He tells Oba he wants to be the first to congratulate him. Ricky then says, prophecy fulfilled. Ricky says his bag is lighter because you did what you said you would do. Ricky shook Oba's hand because he is man enough to admit that Oba was the better man at NXT Deadline. Ricky says he had to think about what is next for him. Ricky says he sees Oba with the belt, and he says that is it. Ricky says he won't get another chance to regain that. He says he remembered who the hell he is. So looks like we're getting that heel Ricky Saints that Michael was talking about on the prediction show. I think it was Michael. I think Michael and Lady Alpha may have brought that up, but the heel Ricky's coming back for sure. Ricky says that he is absolute. He says if you think he's gonna bow down and go to the side, you are wrong. Ricky then says he is coming about what is his. He said you talk about the universe correcting itself. Ricky then says he is steering it back on course. Ricky says it's him one and Oba Femi one. Trilogy. Triple H loves trilogies. I have the shirt. Ricky then says he is demanding his rematch. He told him, I gave you your shot. Now I'm demanding my rematch for the NXT Championship. So then we hear Bouncy. So the young OG, Javon Evans, then makes his way out, and he wants to know what in the heck is going on. Evans says he ain't going to lie, and he wasn't going to interrupt. Evans says he watched Deadline over and over. Evans says he survived the Iron Survivor Challenge. He was the winner. Evans says because of that, he earned a title match at New Year's Evil. Evans says that made him wonder. Evans then says, why do we have to wait for New Year's Evil? Evans says he is on fire and locked in. Evans says he is ready right now and no one is going to dictate his moment. Javon suggests that he has his title match tonight. So this threw me off for a loop because I'm like, holy crap, like I already got the thumb made. Like, oh shit, is Javon going to win the title tonight, face Cody, and work double duty at Saturday night's main event? That's a little much, I think. So Ricky tells Javon to hold on. He then says he wants to know what is the rush. He says, you're on a roll, so what is the rush? Ricky then says if he gets his rematch, it would be them for the title. He then says you have been there for him every step of the way. He then says, are you sure this is what you want? He says he is not waiting. He wants his title match tonight. Evans then says everyone is telling him to wait. Evans says people tell him he is the future, but he is the right now. Evans then says he doesn't need the stars to align. He says he doesn't mean to be cocky, but no one is talking to him at age 21. Evans says that is the play right now. He told Oba that he is the man to beat. And if he said he is putting money on himself tonight. Ricky then says he is with it. Ricky then says it is Javon Evans' time. Oba then asked them if they are going to tell him what the hell to do. Ricky then asked Oba is saying no to the Iron Survivor. Evans then said Oba is scared. I don't think he's scared. Evans then says he has Oba's number. Oba says he is not afraid of Javon and you have never beaten me. Oba then says it will be no different tonight. Oba says game on. So it is official tonight in the main event. It will be Oba Femi defending the NXT Men's Championship that he just won Saturday against the young OG Javon Evans. So Javon is giving up his match at New Year's Evil to get it tonight because there's going to be a fatal four-way next week on NXT to determine who's going to face Oba at NXT New Year's Evil. So Javon kind of jumped the gun a little bit on his chance. So then we get a backstage, they show all the issues with Kalani and Jordan Grace. So after that we get another vignette backstage. I guess we're getting like this more in depth on Tatum Paxley. She tells Izzy that she would end this hopeless and pathetic version of herself. Tatum says, you did it. Then she says she is all gone now. Tatum Paxley then says she has nothing left to lose, but you do. Tatum says you stabbed her in her back and separated her heart from her mind because she didn't want to play your way. Tatum then says, now we are going to play her way. Tatum then says it will eventually be you and me alone together. She says she has nothing left to lose, but you do. One by one, Tatum Paxley plans to destroy the Culling and Izzy Dane by any means necessary. And she had her dolls out with her too. So here we go again. We're gonna have. It looks like we're gonna. It's a great storyline though, so I'm not disappointed with it. So finally, we get to our first match of the night. It's going to be the former TNA Knockouts champion Kalani Jordan versus the Juggernaut Jordan Grace. I don't know why Jordan is not on the main roster. She is still hanging around. It's a pretty good match. I'm not going to go through every single step by step on the match. But it was a really good match. I'll just go through a couple of big moments in the match. Kalani, there's a lot of Kalani hits the reverse DDT. Jordan counters into a suplex. Kalani blocks. Kalani then Kalani goes up top and Grace hits a hanging belly to belly suplex into the tree of woe. Jordan Grayson gets a stretch muffler, and Grace hits a suplex out of the stretch muffler, which that was an incredible move. Kalani goes to the floor, and she sets up for a vertebreaker on the floor, but Kalani escapes, and she clips Jordan Grace. Kalani then sends Grace into the ring steps, and Kalani gets a chair, and she misses Grace and hits the steps. So they're back into the ring. Kalani hits a body scissors. Grace and Kalani then both start to work on each other's legs, and they're both in a double headstand and slap each other. Kalani runs into a boot, and Jordan sends Kalani into the turnbuckles and follows it with a short arm clothesline. Kalani then cinches in a front face lock and hits a kick. Grace then hits a chaos theory for a near fall. Later on in the match, Grace hits a double jump Vader bomb off the ring steps and then sends Kalani back into the ring as she grabs the chair. The referee then takes the chair away, and Kalani kicks Jordan Grace off the steps through the ring barrier. Kalani then sends Grace back into the ring, and Kalani hits a 450 splash for the 1-2-3, and your winner is Kalani Jordan. So big win tonight for Kalani. Jordan Grace just keeps taking L after L after L after L. So we head to the back where Jordan Grace says everything was perfect and she can't even beat rookies or Kalani. Thea Hill then says it is not time to doubt yourself. She says you need to believe in yourself. So Thea Hill starting to become a big fixture mixed in with Joe Hendry. She then says you need to believe in yourself. Grace then asks if she is getting advice from a 16-year-old. Jordan, maybe Hill Jordan coming. Thea then says she is 22, but she has been here since she was 18, so she is a grizzled vet. But she then runs out to join the rest of the women who are going to try to accept the open challenge from Blake Monroe. There was a lot of women that came out for Blake Monroe's open challenge. So Blake makes her way down to the ring and says she knows how much the locker room looks up to her and idolizes her. I love Blake. She then says she is in a given mood to give the less fortunate a chance. She then says who wants some glamour in their lives. She then mentions in the open challenge, most of them come to the ring, but Thea Hill comes from the other side and she puts Blake in a Kimura lock and Blake taps out, but the match never started. Thea then acts like she won the title. So Thea comes in, puts that quick Kimura on Blake. She taps, but there was no bell. Thea Hill made her tap though, so that's why we're having that match next week. Thea Hill, Blake Monroe will be defending next week the Women's North American Championship against Thea Hill. So we go to the back. Kelly Kincaid is with the Season 1 LFG runner-up and Season 2 winner of the men's LFG, Shiloh Hill, as he's making his debut tonight. She mentions it's going to be his first match. Shiloh says he is a little nervous and he feels good. He says he has a lot of pent-up energy. He is fired up for tonight. So I thought it was going to be against maybe like a jobber, but they put Shiloh up against someone that's pretty decent in NXT. Our next match is Shiloh Hill going up against Lexis King. So Hill starts off by sending King over the top rope. Hill then sends King into the turnbuckle and hits a backdrop. Hill is then sent to the turnbuckle and King follows it up with a running drop kick for a near fall. King then sends Hill into the turnbuckle and he chokes him. King and Hill then hit clotheslines at the same time and both men are down. Hill then takes out his mouth guard and he clotheslines King and hits a swinging neck breaker for a near fall. Lexus then hits a kick and another thrust kick, but it starts to piss Shiloh off. Shiloh hits a back body drop and a belly to back into a cutter for the win. What a statement by Shiloh Hill with a big victory over Lexus King tonight. He was the winner. He was my pick to win season 1. I used to cover the LFG seasons. He finished runner up season 1 to Jasper Troy, and then he was the season 2 winner. So big thanks to Colin for Shiloh Hill. So then we get Ethan Page. He's presented with a shiny North American Championship belt, and he walks in the backstage area. We head to the back where Kelly Kincaid asks Ova about what has happened tonight and how he has to defend his title against Javon. Ova says, when you are a champion, expect the unexpected. Ova says it will end with him holding gold above his head. Ova then says Cody Rhodes knows what to expect from Evans, but he needs to watch him tonight. Triple H had put out a tweet earlier, Cody, saying that that match was going to happen. Cody said he will have his eyes on it. Ova then says, who will carry Cody when he puts him to the ground on Saturday? Ova then says he will break the Iron Survivor, and then says Saturday he will break the American Nightmare. Big words from Ova Femi. Ethan Page then makes his way down to the ring. Starts off by saying it does not matter when it comes to the North American Championship. Ethan then says he came to NXT to drink from the fountain of youth and soak up so much knowledge. He says he was the only one who had the balls to ask a question nobody was willing to ask. Ethan then says while others ask how to hit the perfect dropkick, he asked how he could break someone's jaw. Ethan says now the wrestlers are preoccupied with TikTok and social media for that finger point photo with their childhood hero. Ethan says these are the same men he was asking so they could stay in the back staring at him with this title. Ethan then says we are going to have to watch. Ethan then says we will watch. John Cena have his final match in a few days. Ethan then says we will see John walk away for good. Shout out to John Cena. Obviously, everybody's going to be emotional Saturday. Ethan says he has learned that a week after he is gone, John will be a distant memory with a giant void to be filled. Ethan then says a man with a giant ego. Ethan then says the man who won the NXT title in record time. He says he couldn't find his path back, so he went after this to make the North American title the most prestigious. Ethan says every company has sent their best to try to take his title. Ethan says a man like that deserves a break, but he didn't stop. And he is also one half of the AAA Mixed Tag Team Championship with the SmackDown U.S. Women's Champion, Chelsea Green. So he was talking about that. Ethan says it made him unique from everyone else in the company. Ethan then says there are 3 days that are important. Ethan then says the day you enter this world, the day you leave this world, and the day you realize that he is the greatest superstar there is. Ethan then says NXT will be perfectly fine. The lights then go out and the lights come back on. We saw this at NXT Deadline at the end of the show with the returning Tony D'Angelo. He hits Ethan with a spine buster and drops a black fabric on him. So could Tony D be next to go after Ethan Page? So we go to the back where we see Dark State walking and Deion Lennox goes into Ava's office with the other three. Ava then mentions tonight's title match. They then argue about who is next. Ava then says there will be a fatal four-way match to face the champion at New Year's Evil. Ethan Page then shows up and he says he wants to know what is going on with Tony D'Angelo. So the fatal four-way match next week on NXT will be Deion Lennox, Miles Bourne, Leon Slater, and Joe Hendry. Will be a number one contenders match to determine who will face Ova Femi at NXT's New Year's Evil next week. Fatal 4-way match. Deion Lennox, Miles Bourne, Leon Slater, and Joe Henry. So then we get the lovely Sol Ruka making her way to the ring, and she is going to be going up against Ren Sinclair, who is accompanied by the WWE Women's Evolve Champion and the Iron Survivor Champion, Kendall Gray, who will be facing JC Jane at NXT New Year's Evil. So we get Sol against Ren Sinclair. They basically both block up. Sol backs Ren into a corner. Sol pushes Ren away. Sol then avoids Ren going after her knee. Sol cinches in a waist lock and cinches in a calf crusher. So then we get a picture up in the stands of Zarya. They're continuing this angle. Obviously, they made up later on in the night, but is that true, or is Zarya going to turn on Sol Ruka, or could Sol possibly turn? I just don't see that though. But Sol hits a leaping X Factor for a near fall. They show Zarya in the bleachers. Sol also sees her. Ren then gets a roll up while Sol is paying attention to Zarya for a near fall. So we get close to the end of the match. Sol hits a missile drop kick and a thrust kick. Ren then reverses, hits an elbow. Ren also hits a butterfly suplex. Sol then floats over and she kicks Ren and hits a Soul Snatcher for the 1-2-3. And the winner is Sol Ruka. So Sol Ruka is going into Saturday night's main event with some momentum with their big victory tonight over Ren Sinclair, who is going to have a big 2026. You guys heard it here. Ren Sinclair is going to be pushed heavily in 2026. But Sol Ruka goes to Saturday night's main event to face a future Hall of Famer in Bayley. I am super excited for that match. After the match, Zarya goes down a few steps and then goes back up the bleachers. Sol chases her up through the crowd through the bleachers. She's trying to make up for her. But after the match concludes, my queen, that you can see in the background, JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and Lainey Reed make their way down to the ring. JC starts off by saying Kendall Gray is living the Cinderella story to go from obscurity to Iron Survivor. JC says this moment is as good as it's going to get. JC says you have all of these people hyping you up and supporting you. JC then says your stock is never higher. JC then says you're living the dream. JC then says this is why people say they want to do this. JC then says they want the love and support you are getting now. JC then says your reality is going to smack you in the face come New Year's Evil. Shout out to the world of Greg. What's going on, brother? Yes, big shout out to World of Greg. Been doing a lot for the EVP show, making videos, promotions, stuff like that. Good to see you, Greg. So JC then says your 15 minutes will be up when you lose. So I'm not going against my queen ever. JC then says this crash and downward spiral she will send you on will be catastrophic. JC then says the fans will move on to the next flavor of the month. JC then says no one will tell you the truth other than her. She says she has no problem being the bad guy. JC Jane plans to drive Kendall Gray into obscurity after their match at New Year's Evil. JC says potential doesn't win championships. She said you may be the Evolve Women's Champion, but holding this title is a whole different level. JC said you may have spent all year trying to make a name for yourself, but she owned this year. JC then says she went from being unappreciated and overlooked to being the most dominant champion. And she did. She was the one that dethroned Stephanie Valcour. So that's when I started really latching on to JC. JC says she is a history maker. She says she held the NXT and TNA women's title at the same exact time. JC says she is a two-time champion. JC says, everybody realize what she has known all along. She is a rock star in this ring. JC says she is the foundation and glue that holds this division together. 2025 was the year of JC Jane. JC says she is not going to let a bootleg Kurt Angle, which I've made a lot of references over these last couple of shows of Kendall Gray reminding me a lot of Kurt Angle. So it's funny that JC Jane brought that up tonight. With a bootleg Kurt Angle with a ponytail, still her spot. JC then said, you don't stand a chance in hell of beating me. Kendall grabbed her mic. She said, JC is right. Kendall then said, you had a ton of momentum, but who has momentum now? Kendall then said, she is a rookie and has a lot to learn, but no one expected her to win the Iron Survivor, and she did. Kendall then says she shocked herself. Kendall then says, no one expects her to beat JC. Kendall then says, no one expected JC to beat Stephanie Valcour, which that's true. Kendall then says, anything can happen in the ring. She says she showed that she can rise to the occasion. She then says, if you want to treat their match as a joke, go ahead. JC then rebuttal says Kendall wins one match and she thinks she can be the most dominant faction in NXT. Ren then says they have a title now and they will have a second and you will have one. She then says maybe they will make a clean sweep. Laney then says matching jackets mean nothing. Fallon Henley then chimes in and says they will leave enough of Kendall. Fallon and Laney then attack Ren and Kendall Gray. JC then joins in. Ren then joins the fight. Laney then hits a super kick on Ren and she punches and kicks Kendall Gray. So Fatal Influence has heard enough. They wiped out Ren Sinclair and Kendall Gray tonight. So I've been missing these guys. This is when I first started watching, or probably a month into watching NXT, when Hank and Tank won the tag titles from Fraxium. In the back, Hank and Tank with Kelly Kincaid. Tank says it was bodacious, and Hank said it was great. Hank says they are ready to do what they do best. Bronco Nima and Lucien Price then show up. Tank says they don't forget what you did, but before they went to Japan. They then challenge Bronco and Lucien to a match next week. So next week we will also see Bronco Nima and Lucien Price go up against Hank and Tank. We then head to another backstage area where Blake Monroe tells Ava they need to talk. Ava then asks how did that challenge work out for her. She asked Blake, how did the open challenge work out for you tonight, Blake? And Blake blames Ava for being embarrassed. Blake then says, there are no more open challenges. I'm done with the open challenges. Ava then says, that is fine. Blake then demands an apology. Ava then says, Blake has to defend the title next week against Dia Hill. So Blake Monroe would be defending the Women's North American Championship against Dia Hill next week. Looking forward to that. So in the backstage parking lot, we see Sol Ruca running up to Zarya. Zarya says she wants to support Sol and she wishes her luck on Saturday at Saturday night's main event. Sol then says she would love for Zarya to be there on Saturday. So I think this is where we're going to see the turn here. Maybe Zarya ends up costing Sol Ruca the match against Bayley. It's coming. They've been teasing it way too long. They then tell each other that they are sorry and they hug. Sol said friends fight. It's just part of it. So they do a makeup, but I'm not buying it. They both say that they've never had a friend like each other before. Yeah, WWE does a really good way of planting those seeds. This has been going on for a while. There's going to be a split. It's going to happen. So it is then announced that next week, Joe Hendry, Deion Lennox, Miles Bourne, and Leon Slater will have a number one contenders match, and Blake Monroe will defend her women's North American title against Dia Hill. We see video footage of Channing Stacks Lorenzo winning. He won the TNA International Championship. So shout out to Channing Stacks. Of going over to TNA to winning that title. So we get to the main event. It's going to be the Young OG. Which one of these will go on to Saturday night's main event to face the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes? Javon Evans makes his way to the ring, and he will be facing Oba Femi for the NXT Championship. So this match was great. So midway through the match, Oba stands on Evans' chest and cinches in a rear chin lock. Evans then hits some elbows, but Oba holds on. Evans then hits a back heel kick, and Oba pulls Evans off the apron, and he lands face first on the apron. Evans then hits a springboard Aussie moonsault, and Oba catches him. Evans then sends Oba into the apron, and Oba then chops Evans on the apron. Later on in the match, Evans and Oba hits a Uranagi backbreaker and almost gets a near fall on Javon. Oba then sets up for a powerbomb, but Evans collapses to the mat. Oba then has some words for Javon. He's chopping at the mouth. But Evans then fires back with some punches. Oba hits a double sledge to the back, then goes for a powerbomb, but Evans is able to send him over the top rope into the floor. Oba then sets up for a powerbomb on the floor, and Javon hits a Hurricanrana to counter. Oba then goes for a spear, but Evans moves out of the way, and Oba is sent over the announce desk. At this point, I'm like, oh gosh, could we see a title change? The referee then starts his count. Both make their way back into the ring. Evans hits a springboard frog splash to the back, and Evans goes up top, and he hits another frog splash for a near fall. Javon then hits some punches. Oba then misses, and Evans hits a punch, and then he hits an enziguri. Oba goes to the floor, and Javon goes up top and hits a plancha on Oba Femi. Evans sends Oba back into the ring, and Oba hits a springboard move into a forearm. Evans then hits a German suplex, and Oba pops up. Evans then hits a cutter for about a 2 7/8. That was really close. Evans then goes for a rebound move, but Oba hits an uppercut for another near fall. So towards the end of the match, Oba tosses Evans in, but Evans hits a cutter and then a double jump cutter. At this point, I thought it was over. And the referee, when he goes to count for 3, is pulled from the ring by the absolute Ricky Saints. Evans then takes care of Saints and hits a rebound spinning heel kick. Oba then hits a clothesline and an uppercut into the corner and hits another and then hits the power bomb for the 1, 2, 3. And see you soon at Cody Rhodes. Oba Femi has retained the NXT Championship and will go on to Saturday night's main event to go up against the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. After the match, Oba stares at Ricky Saints and walks right past him. Saints then stares at Evans as the show comes to a close. So this was a really good show. That they've already provided next week's matches. As I said, Javon's already given up his title match. So we're going to see Blake Monroe going up against my brain just went I just had a brain fart. So Blake Monroe will defend her Women's North American Championship next week against Thea Hale. And then we will have a new #1 contender to see who will face Oba Femi at New Year's Evil. And it will be Dion Lennox from Dark State, Miles Bourne, Leon Slater, and Joe Henry. So basically everybody that was in the Iron Survivor match besides Javon Evans will square off next week for a #1 contenders match. I don't know. I wanted Miles, but I'm thinking it may be Dion Lennox that gets that shot to go on to New Year's Eve and face Oba. It only makes sense with the heel versus the face. But as always, NXT, phenomenal show. I mean, they're surpassing everything the WWE the main roster doing right now. But yeah, shout out to everyone that's tuned in to the NXT recap. We have about 70 viewers on the EVP show X and Miami the Greats X. So first off, shout out to Wrestling RUS podcast, Lady Alpha from the Wrestling Divas podcast, who will be joining me tomorrow for the prediction show. Shout out to at Horror Wrestling, Michael, the Brain, for one half of Kicking Out at 2 podcast. Make sure to give both of them a subscription on X and on YouTube, part of Gimmick Table Media. And then also a shout out to the World of Greg. Thank you all for the comments. I'm going to go to my outro video, and I'll be back to tell you guys where you can find me on my socials and what I have coming up for the rest of the week. Once again, thank you to everyone. But don't go anywhere, because I will tell you what the EVP has in store for the rest of the week.
CJP's your guide, let's start the show. Tag teams picking, faction shaking. He's got the scoop on moves they're faking. Belt on the line, dreams on display. The EVP show keeps the drama in play. It's good. Let's go where the heroes rise and the legends grow. CJP brings the shots, you know. The EVP show, it's out of control.
Yeah, that Let's Go gets me every single time. Like I said, shout out to DWE, shout out to After the Slam podcast, shout out to Wrestling Divas podcast. Shout out, you are very welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I have to try, if I can. I got a lot. I am super busy after the stream, but I have nothing going on during the day tomorrow, so I am going to go back and watch you guys stream. I got to do better, guys. I apologize that, like, if I'm not in you guys' streams, but, like, I'm putting out so much content right now. Like, I'm barely even able to get into Miami and them stuff. But I'm going to make it a point to start coming into you guys' streams, because you guys do support me, and I do appreciate that. But I definitely was in there earlier. But I checked out. I do know you guys will be on After the Slam, so, like, After the Slam is bringing in, like, the whole group. Started with Final Boss Lady, and then I was on, and then Michael and Tori, and then Miami, and then I heard that he is going to have you and Autumn on as well. Like I said, I'd definitely love to have you and Autumn on. Whether it's, I would love for, maybe we can set something up with you and Autumn and Michael and Tori for, like, a prediction show. Maybe Royal Rumble. I'm not gonna really do a prediction show for New Year's Evil, since it's gonna be on NXT that night. But yeah, maybe Saturday night's main event in January, Royal Rumble, maybe U4. That'd be fantastic. But appreciate you guys stopping in. So on my socials, you can find me. You can see at the bottom of the screen. Don't look at JC. I know she's beautiful, but look at the bottom of the screen. On X, you can find me at EVPCJP. I am all over X. I'm always posting, always retweeting, always sending out streams, spamming chats, probably getting on people's nerves, but hey, that's how you get your stuff going out there. On Instagram, you can find me at EVPCJP. I'm also on TikTok now at Brady DAGOAT 21. That's at Brady at Brady Dugoat 21, not THEDA. So at Brady Dugoat 21. Make sure you give me a follow on TikTok. I do post a lot of my stream information and stuff like that on there as well. My hair's like going everywhere tonight. Also on Instagram at EVPCJP. And more importantly, thank you guys so much for the comments tonight. But if you guys don't mind liking the YouTube stream tonight and all the comments, obviously I see a ton of comments from the YouTube. I don't know why I don't really see anything from X. It's weird. Am I streaming on X? Can anybody tell me if I'm streaming on X right now? Because all the comments are from YouTube, so it's really weird. Only it's all from X. So it shows that I'm streaming from mine and Miami's ex. So hopefully so. I'll find out when the stream's over. Unless you guys can comment. Am I streaming on mine and Miami's ex right now? If you guys can let me know before I wrap up, that'd be great. Most importantly, you can find me on, hit that like and subscribe. Hit the like on this video and any video, the one earlier with me and Miami the Great, breaking down week 14 of the NFL recap. Hit the like and subscribe button to the EVP show. My channel is pinned at the very top of my YouTube page. So if you guys don't mind reposting that, my goal, like I said, is to get to 300 subs. I have gained 4 new subscribers today, so I am close to 160. So yeah, I got a long ways to go, but I'm going to try to put in as much hard work as I can and try to make sure that I get to my goal, which is 300 by SummerSlam. So I'm going to be busting my rear end to try to get that. Does anybody know that's still around if I am streaming on X, on my X or Miami's X? I can check after the stream. If not, it's fine. So, yeah, please like and comment on the video. If I see it later on in the comments, I will get back to your comments. If you are able to watch the replay, it doesn't look like that I'm streaming on X. Okay, I have to check really quick. Something, just 1 second, guys. Sorry. Michael says he doesn't see me streaming on X. That's weird because I'm supposed to be streaming on X. Let me check this out really quick. Yeah, it looks like I am streaming on X. Let's see. What about Miami's page? Is it streaming on? I am streaming though. It shows me streaming on X. Let's see if it's streaming on Miami's. Sorry guys. I don't want my stuff to be all jacked up. Whoops. Just 1 second and make sure that it is streaming on Miami's. Yes, it is. We're streaming on both. Not sure, Michael. Yeah, but yeah, it looks like we are streaming. So yeah, I appreciate everyone. So what I have coming up tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, me and the CEO of DWE, the man with the plan, Miami the Great, and now yeah, I don't know. I just checked. Yeah, it looks like it's streaming. So mine and Miami's. But appreciate you being on YouTube. That helps me out a lot. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, me and Miami the Great, and we will also be joined by Lady Alpha from the Wrestling Divas podcast at 7 p.m. Eastern for the Saturday night main event prediction show. I look forward to that. Obviously, Lady Alpha let me know about Autumn. I can bring in as many as 10 guests. If not, it's fine. You can even let me know last minute. I have all the backgrounds and everything set up for as many people as I can, bring on. So, just whenever you can find out, just let me know. I'm not sure. Stacked DAS for a stacked card. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. So then Friday, I will be back for the Go Home show for SmackDown recap. I will be live on the EVP show at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. And then Saturday, everybody's going to be emotional, so it's going to be hard to hold it in. I will be live Saturday night main event. So I will be going live on the EVP show immediately following Saturday night main event to recap the entire event and tell you everything that happened. And we will go through all of John Cena's final match with Gunther. It's going to be emotional, but we're going to get to it, guys. I will be live at 11 p.m. Eastern following Saturday night's main event. And then catch me Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern on After the Slam podcast with Miami the Great, Michael the Brains from Kicking Out at 2. Let's see who else is going to be on. Carlos from the Collective, I believe, is going to be joining us as well. It's going to be a big, we may have 7 to 10 people on there. Quite a few people. Final Boss Lady may be on there as well. So shout out to Final Boss Lady. I haven't spoken to her in a while. Hope she's doing good. She has been retweeting my stuff. Appreciate that, Final Boss Lady. Much love. GWE for life. So Saturday night, 11 p.m. You guys join in after Saturday night's main event goes off the air, and I will be recapping it. And then Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern, I will be on After the Slam podcast to just talk about John Cena and what he's done for the wrestling industry and what he's already signed a 5-year deal to be a wrestling ambassador for WWE. So he's going to be sticking around with the company in some sort. So never say never, but I doubt we ever see him wrestle again. Sorry guys, that does it for me tonight, guys. I appreciate all the love and support. I will see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern with the lovely Lady Alpha from the Wrestling Divas podcast and the CEO, my A1 from day one, the man with the plan, the owner of DWE Miami the Great, as we do the Saturday night main event prediction show at 7 p.m. Eastern live on the EVP show, on the EVP's X, and on Miami the Great's X. Until then, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. And I will see you guys tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. I am the EVP from the EVP show and the golden boy of DWE. And I will see you guys tomorrow night. Good night, everyone.